Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to work on this Lonicera, a Japanese Lonicera. I was told when I bought it a couple of years ago. I said in the first video I made, this tree was just sort of abandoned really. It fell off the bench I think one winter. The next spring came round and it just kind of suffered and was stuck under the bench. So last spring just gone, I thought I'd best give it a bit of attention. So I repotted it, got the roots sorted out, which are actually quite nice in this tree. Gave it a better pot. It's just a cheap pot, but it does match the tree quite well. The green, the rivets are that slight tan brown colour which matches the trunk, so I think it could be quite a nice little tree actually. So I thought today I'd get it pruned up because it's getting a little bit wild now. Get it back into check and see what we can do with it. So how you should be seeing it on camera now would be the front. So you've got the main trunk line coming up, and then off to the right you've got this secondary trunk line, a weaker one. It's skinnier, so I do quite like that that style of tree, like the twin trunk style. I just think it's really nice. So this could be quite a nice graceful little tree with a bit of work. So I have noticed that the roots have grown quite well into this soil over this season. I just need to later on clean off this moss that's growing over the sort of surface roots and up the trunk a little bit, because we don't want that rotting away at the trunk. And it's also got a couple of suckers that are growing out of it, so we need to address that. Yeah, so I'll try and prune this with you sort of viewing the front of the tree as best as I can. I might need to spin it back round to me, but I'll try my best to show you as always as we go along. So the first thing you notice is we've got this long whippy sucker growing from in that moss. So first job, we need to come in and take that out. Could be good cutting that actually. I don't know how well they root from cuttings, but I'm not gonna bother, to be honest. So and then if we just come round to the left hand side of the tree, we've got an even longer one growing out, so we just need to take that back. See there. What I've noticed with this tree as well, as it's put out all this long growth, but then recently it's started to, what would be the word, like divide itself. It's not done it so well on this branch, but these upper ones, you see, like this one comes out, you'd be that, and then you'd have two, like one up, one down, and then alternating. So it's doing well. It's giving me options for bonsai in the tree. So yeah. Right, we've also got round at the back, we've got another smaller one coming off of the trunk. I don't want to keep that one, so we'll just take that one out. Just peeled a bit of the bark off with that. Should be okay. Right, so let's come back round to the front of the tree. Right, so we'll work from the bottom up as always. Now you can see as you come up from the base of the tree, in this division here we've got backbud growing. Now I could take that out, but for now I'm going to just leave that, because I'm keeping this sweeping branch out, this second trunk line. But if something happens to that, like maybe after this pruning, or I just want to bring that back in at a later date and get more movement into it, I can remove that once this one has grown stronger and use that. So seeing as that's not causing any harm to the tree at the moment, I'm just going to keep that. But coming out then to this second trunk line, let's see what we've got growing on it. Right, just having a little think here. What's going on with the structure? Our first branch would be this one here. It's going quite vertical, but it's not too bad, and it gives me something a little bit further back in on the trunk, as it's so sparse going out. So I think I am going to keep that. When viewing the tree from the front, it's not coming towards you either, so I think I will keep that branch. I just need to decide whether I want to prune it back. So I'm just looking at the leaves to decide where we want to go with directional pruning. I think a good place would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be the 5th set of leaves, so I'd get growth that way and this way. So I'm just gonna nip between the 6th and the 5th set of leaves, taking that off. You might struggle to see it at the moment, but it's just here. So we'll get growth that way and that way. The one below it would give me growth back into the tree and out, so I think I'm going to stick with that for now. Okay, so then the next branch that comes out here, let's work with this one. Now, from the front, at the moment it does come straight towards you. It needs to be flowing out with the rest. So I'm wondering if maybe it would be better to remove that branch altogether. Again, if the tree was wired, you just simply wire them out that way, but that's not what we're going for, because we like a bit of a challenge. So I'm just trying to decide whether to keep it, and it's kind of a bit of a cascade as well, so yeah, it's growing from underneath, so I'm going to say to get rid of it. So it's quite a big branch to come off, but takes that out. You can see we've lost basically an identical branch to that, and it's probably going to be the same situation with this unless I can redirect it. Now, to redirect it would mean the branch would come out and then it would, so it wouldn't be very flowing to do that. So really, again, I think I'm probably going to be looking to take that out. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best bet, is to take that branch out. So now you can see we've lost 2 from there, but it cleans out that, and everything is going up and out now rather than down and towards the viewer. So we've also got a vertically cascading branch starting under there, so we can just nip that out, cleaning that up. Now, as this trunk line comes out, this part is kind of cascading. It's got 2 branches growing off of it. I don't think that's very graceful to keep that for them to come down and then go back out. So I think this whole portion here might come off, losing those 2 branches. So I just don't like that. It's not very flowing. Just to go down and then the branches go back up. I'm just trying to decide whether to keep them or keep the back one but lose this one. I suppose we could do that for now, and then there'd only be just a small downwards bit before it comes out, but I don't want all this, so I'll remove that. But I'll just use these just to protect my Canishin scissors. So we'll leave a small stub for dieback, which is also just taken off 2 dormant buds there because we don't want them growing. They won't be in a good place, so you can see now hopefully that cleans that up. Let me just check the camera. We're still going, yeah. Right, so okay, so right, we've got this one here which isn't vertical and it's flowing outwards. So for making a nice sort of canopy, I'm gonna keep that one, but there's one behind it which is, oh, this tall one, which is vertical. I am gonna get rid of that one, and it's also crossing another branch a little bit, so we can take that one out like so. Now we've got 2 branches here. We've got this one which is coming out, and we've also got this one. The top one's in a slightly better position than this one, but it's also a lot weaker. So I'm gonna leave at a later date. We just need to prune this one back. So I'm just having a look. All the leaves are basically the same, so it would just be a case of there isn't any vertical one. So I think we'll just take it back to, this one here. Taking that whole part off. You can see where the new growth is coming out further back. The lighter green, it's like the tip that's continuing to grow. Right, and then we have this one, which would be off of that sort of a little cascade stub now. Just have a look from the front. It kind of dips and then goes up. I do quite like it. Ideally everything would be growing outwards, so it still might need to come off that actually. I think it would be better if it did, because it's not flowing like the other branches. So yeah, we'll just take that off. Let's use our, try and get in close to the, right, let me nip off the actual branch first, and then we'll clean that stub up. Right, so, yeah, that's flush. As you can see now, these branches are coming out this way. Now, I think there's one more around the back, which you can see here, so it comes out and then it's a division. There is a bit of a dead stump there, so I need to try and clean that up now. Probably from previous prune. I have pruned this tree once before, I think. After repotting, and I think I do have a picture, so if I can I'll upload a picture of the tree, and if I have one, which I might do of like when I bought the tree, I'll upload that as well. I'll just overlay it somewhere if I figure out how to do it. Oh, I've just noticed that this pot's got a bit of a crack in it. That's a shame. It's only a cheap pot, but see how that survives through the winter. Right. Well, just having a look here now. Well, there's one part we don't want to keep because, oops, oh, be careful with these scissors. It's just coming out and growing back in towards the tree. There's growth off of it which flows in the right way, but it would mean the branch would come out, and then so it's not flowing. So we'll just take that whole section out, like so. Now this one, we need to see from the front what it gives us. If anything. Where is it now? Okay. Yeah, it does flow. It gives us something a bit further back. So I'll prove it's getting quite thick, so we do need to knock that out, otherwise that's going to take over and become quite strong and come out of balance with the rest of the branches. So I'm just going to come back to this set of leaves here. Where are we? These ones, wasn't it? Taking that whole part out, you can see that's getting strong. So you can see that now, hopefully you can see, is cleaned up and everything is flowing out, which is nice. It looks a little bit sort of bald now, but as the tree grows in and develops, it should look pretty nice. So now we're onto the main trunk. So trunk comes up. First branch would be this one, which we don't want because it's just coming straight to the viewer. It's also kind of cascading. It's not very flowing, so that can go. Just get some of my drink. Let's have a look. Let's open that up a bit. just need to try and get as much light as we can to this new growth if I choose to replace this with that. But that will need to flow out. If it doesn't, then there's no point in keeping it anyway. But it's not doing no harm for now, so we'll leave it just to grow. Now, we've got this growth here, which again kind of cascades. It would also interfere with this secondary trunk, so we're just going to take this, needs to go flush, take that out like so, cleaning that out. We've got a new little, snip that out, don't need that. Where's that gone? Let's take that out so it's not in the soil. Right, what else have we got going on? We've got another one here growing on the inside, which would interfere with that trunk, so that needs to be nipped out. Like so. What else? There's another little one in here. Need to clean up, so that can come out. And then we have, off of what would be kind of the back branch, another one that's growing towards the secondary trunk line, so that can also be nipped out. We don't need that. So at least now you can start to see the basic structure of the tree. So the next sort of branch up would be this, which really is the apex. So I'm just trying to see from the front what we've got going on. We've got this growth that kind of comes towards the, well, it doesn't really, it's off to the right just a little bit, so we could probably keep that. It just needs nipping back quite far. Being the apex of the tree, it is strong, and we want anything lower like this and this to get energy, so this needs going back hard. It also gives us opportunity to get movement and taper into that. So I think I'll take it back to, let me just view the tree from the front. I think we'll take it back to here. Taking that whole section out. So that's that branch there shortened. Next, there's a branch then that comes up behind that, and we've got one left and one right, which we will keep both. It's a nice division. It gives us some flow over this side, and it also gives us some cover over this secondary trunk line. It just needs bringing right back in. So we'll start on this right hand side first. Just want to see if I turn the camera around, or the tree around, sorry, we've got a division happening just there, those two new light green shoots. So really pruning back to them would be best. So just leave a stub, just get in there like so, because now that will flow out, and it's divided quite early, so that'll be nice. It's also giving that triangular shape to the tree and light and air to this secondary trunk. Okay, so then the one coming off to the left hand side is this main apex. Now I've just noticed with that we have, and pull these down, we've got, it comes out and then we've got this sort of more vertical growth and one back there. Now I think I'm going to go back to that first one. So it'll sweep out and then it'll kind of come up to continue the tree. So I'll nip it back to that. Just come between there and take that section out so that new growth was in a good position. So hopefully you can see that now. If it's not clear, we'll get a better view in a minute once these branches are sorted out. Right, next. We've got a branch also attached to that here, so it'd be like the first one we pruned has got a division to that side, comes up, and then we've just done the other two divisions. But this one comes, where are we? Is it this one? Here. I don't know if we need that yet, but we'll leave that for now because I don't know what I'm going to do with these back branches. So we'll keep that for options just for now. Okay, so next sort of branch out, we've got this long whippy bit, which is growing like over the tree, so that we're going to have to take that out. That won't be needed. That cleans out that section there. We've got another vertical bit here, which I'll tackle in a minute once I've sorted these out. So just view the tree from the dead on front. See, now we've got this that comes right towards you, which is no good, unfortunately, because you can see just how strong that is as well. It's dividing everywhere. I think if I just prune it back though, it's always going to be towards us. That branch is literally doing that. So the only, just trying to think, with prune to that it would come, but then it's growing into this and we are going to keep that. Let me just say, if I take it back to, because we've got some some sort of upward growth coming off of it, if I take it off to that, what does that do? Let's just take that off, like so, taking all that strong growth off. Now, you can see that branch here. We've got a part coming out that way and a part coming out that way. That could work. Maybe not this one though, because it's going to go across the rest of the tree. So that part, I'm thinking, might need to go, but I'll leave it for now. So I'm thinking we've got this part, and then we're going to have some upward, which will help with building this apex. I'm just not sure about this one because it will cross the tree. So I could take that out and just leave that, but we'll see. I'll leave that for now. I'm not 100% sure how I want to tackle that one yet. Right now, the next branch then is this. Well, it's getting quite thick actually. Strong growth. Best bet for that, I think, is we've got a division like this, right back in there. So I think we're best coming back to that. So we'll come right back in there, get it deep in the scissors where it's stronger, taking that whole part off. You can see how strong that's getting. Now hopefully the camera can see. Let me just have a look. That we're getting a bit of shape to the tree now, not just a bush. So just having a bit of my tea. Right, let's have a look. So we've got all them pruned up. We have got, I think I mentioned this before, this part. Now it could actually become the apex because it's right on the top of this trunk just here, so that could even be the apex, not this. So I think we'll keep that, and it's given that triangular shape that you're supposed to sort of aim for in bonsai. We've just got a little bit of growth just in the crotch area there. Take that out. Just clean that up, we don't need that. It'll stay weak anyway because it's very shaded in the middle there. We've also got another branch in here. It'll be hard to see, but what's coming off of it? It's not that, it's just that weak bit there. It's kind of going back into the, yeah, it's growing. Yeah, we'll take that out. So we'll just nip that out. It's not needed. Very weak anyway, I think, just because it's not been getting much light. Well, it's basically just a stump. It might have even been just a stump. Okay. Now, the back branch to this tree. First thing you'll notice is we've got this. Hopefully the camera can pick it up on this angle here. So this is the back branch, and then we've got this vertical which is growing over this. So we don't want that, so we're just gonna nip that out. Let me just get in there. There we go, taking that out. That little bit that was coming off of it. Okay, we've got another one going straight up and growing back in towards the tree. So we can nip that out. Okay. Quite a bit coming off this tree today. Now, you can see from this angle, we've got that cascading part. We definitely don't want to keep that, so can't get in there. There we go. Take that out. Right, what we're left with now, we've got another branch here, which isn't really any good to me because it's growing into this. So that needs to come out. If we can get in there. So now we have this. What do we do with that? Because it's on its way for cascading. It's not flowing like the branch that it's coming off. Let me just have a look from the front what it's given us. Not a lot. If it was upwards, yeah, but it's not, so we'll take that off. We might even get some back budding further back on that trunk that might give us a better option later on. Now, we also have this is tricky. We've got this part, which again is on its way for cascading, or at least from this part it starts. So for now, just so we've got something on this, we'll just take it back and see if we can get it growing upwards instead. I think we'll take it back to this set of leaves here. So we're taking all that off. That just leaves that short stump, but it just gives us maybe an option rather than having nothing on this straight section. And then we've got this. Now, from the front, we want it flowing up like the rest. So, just trying to see. What have we got on it? Not an awful lot. It's very straight. We've got this section here, which is growing out, which could be used, but this really is too straight for the apex. I want it to start getting movement as it's in the canopy, so I might have to quite hard prune that back. We'll just go to this, well, it's more like a 1, 2, 3, third set of leaves. We'll just come in back to that, taking that whole section off. You can see how strong that was getting. Look at all this new growth going on. So it's not an ideal branch that, but hopefully we'll get something on it. So I think the only branch left is this one. So that needs a hard prune. And it has got a new section here which would bring it out that way. It's just very straight though up until that point, and it's quite a long section, so I might have to go quite hard on this one as well. Let's have a look. Where do we take this back to? You see from the front of the tray. I've got to take it back to those two leaves there. Taking all that out. Right. Let's just have a look now. Right, let's have a look. So, front of the tree. Trunk comes up, it divides. We've got our secondary trunk. We've got our first branch here, which will flow out. We've got a new one, which might replace this slightly stronger one here, maybe. So we keep both of them for now. And then we have this back one here, so that will hopefully develop in time. In the crotch we've kept this new growth just in case we decide we can replace this straight section at a later date. It's not doing any harm yet, so we can leave that to grow. And then up the main trunk we have this, which I thought was the apex fly, but it's probably not actually. But we've got, let's have a look, got a branch just out to the right. We've got one coming off of that 1 to 2 here, coming out the back. We go up and then we've got 1 to 2 the other way. So we've got this with some upward growth, this which will continue this way. We come, well, we'll do the back branch. We've got the back branch, which you can see has been quite hard pruning there. See what happens with that. Bee around me. And what else have we got going on? We'll come out to the left. We've got a nice bit of growth here. This might go, but for now I'm going to keep it just to see what happens. But I can see this just growing out this way, which wouldn't be good. But for now it can stay. We have what will be the apex here, the strongest section. We've got this branch continuing out here, dividing 1 to 2. So we'll get our growth like that. And then we have, did I touch this branch? I don't think I did, It's getting a bit strong, so we just need to nip that back, get some movement into it. So we'll go back to that cell. Is just going quite short with that. So that currently is the front of the tree there. So I'll just give you a quick look round. That's the front. See, it's got a nice triangular shape going on. Coming around to the right. The back, where we've got this crack in the pot. I don't think it's too deep. You can't really feel it. I don't know if it might have, I don't know if it's been repaired. It's just got something white on it. Don't know. Soon find out in winter, I suppose. And then round to the left hand side. I think it's quite a nice little tree actually. And I do think it suits the pot, so I hope the pot does survive the winter, because I do think it matches quite well. I say the little tan coloured rivets match the trunk, the green with the leaves. It could be quite a nice little tree this one day. So that's a look at the tree, but we'll just do a little bit of work now on just cleaning this moss up, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'll just go and get what I need for that. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so we're back just to clean this moss up off the base of the tree. As I said before, we don't want to leave that on because it's just going to continue to climb up the tree. Moss obviously likes to be damp, so if it stays damp it could rot the tree or the bark. So I've got a couple of things to get that off. Tweezers, so we'll try and pick it off first, and then if there's any left over, got a toothbrush and some water, so we can just spray it and just gently scrub it off. So, ooh, sorry tree. So we'll just go in and try and pick off what we can. And you'll find when you do this, the tree underneath will be, it's nice moss that, it will be dark because You can see there how easy that piece of bark came off with the moss, but the tree will be dark because that moss has kept it damp and wet. So we just got to always try and keep that off. It's growing too high up the tree anyway. It looks nice on your soil and over maybe some of the surface roots, but not up the tree. It's also not very natural. It looks natural to have lichen growing on the tree, but not fluffy moss like this. Not really. So, and it should also expose what's going on with our roots a little bit. Bit tricky to pick out some of this. There's a stub from that branch I pruned off earlier, so now we can see that we should be able to take that stump off a little easier. Still got a leaf on it actually, so that will start growing again if I don't take it off. It might be worth just leaving a couple of these moss sprigs on the soil, because they'll probably start to grow then and give us that natural mossy looking soil, if that's what we're after. It doesn't particularly matter at the moment because the tree won't be going in any shows anytime soon, but it can still look nice in your garden to have a little bit of moss on. You see how much we're getting off. Oh, mind you, the camera zoomed in so you probably can't, but yeah, it's getting quite a bit of that moss off. Got a couple of weeds that we can get to now as well, that we're able to get closer into the trunk. A couple of roots there, we don't want to pull them out. Let's just try and get out. The weeds are awkward in this because they're growing around the edges of the pot. It's an absolute pain to try and get them out, but we need to before they really get going. Just try and pull them out. Awkward. Just get in there. Tweezers. I'm not getting the roots here. It's probably rooted itself in quite well. And there's a lip on the pot, so it's probably gone under a little bit. Ooh, that's something. That's something. I can see a white root. Just try and get that. There we go. Some roots there off the weed. Just clean that out and just try and get this other one on the side. Oh, there's one there as well. Just try get a grip of that. I tend to, when I go around watering the trees, just pull out any weeds that I see. Say this one's got a couple now around the edge that you can't just get out, so now's a good time to. Oh yeah, it's coming. Oh, nearly. There we go. Takes that out. Yeah, now's a good time to get these out whilst I'm working on the tree. I've got the tweezers out. There's just another one here. There we go. See the leaves. Leave them in the soil. And then I think there's just maybe one more here. Like so. I think that's it for the weeds. So let's just try spraying this with some water and giving it, I'll spray the toothbrush as well, just to see if we can get a bit more of that moss off. Could probably do with a rougher toothbrush, but again, this tree, like most of my others, isn't wired in. At least I don't think it is. No? Just a drainage stream. And it's very solid in the pot. So it just shows you, once those roots get going, you don't often need wire in the tree, and then your tree's not getting potentially scarred with wire marks that on the roots as they thicken up. This is coming off quite nice now. This moss, starting to see the trunk there. So whilst we've got them exposed, we'll just nip out these sort of suckers. So we've got one there, just a leaf, yeah, and a bit of moss. We've got one here, get in there, yep. And then we've got one round here as well. Let's take that out so the tree doesn't try and keep growing them. Right, just give this a little go with this. Just get off as much as we can. Bit of bark peel there. Ooh. Doesn't really matter too much, but there's just a bit of moss now around the base, around the roots, which is fine. I don't mind that, and it can continue hopefully then to grow on the soil. I think that's about it really, so we'll just bring you in now, final look at the tree, and that'll be that for this one. I'll just move the camera. Okay, so just a final look now at the tree in this nice little pot. So you can see here now that the trunk's been cleaned up, and maybe you can see some of the roots that are going on. I'll try and zoom in a bit. Might be quite hard to see. We have got some roots going on there, which we can expose as the tree develops. Getting quite nice, not too bad. So then we'll just come out, oops, and have a little look at the tree. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little video watching this. I've got a friend that's got quite a nice Lonicera actually, and it's only his second bonsai, so hopefully this will help him, give him a few ideas for styling his, because it can be a little bit daunting when you first get into bonsai knowing what to do. So hopefully this will help him at least But yeah, I hope you liked watching this one. Thanks for watching again. If you could give it a like, maybe a comment, a subscribe if you're not already, be greatly appreciated. But thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Take care.